Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the main event, as I like to call it, here at SRL. It is Tier 1, and that means I am joined by Farico's Sammy. Sammy, how are we doing, mate?
Oh, just great. It's been a very busy day with plenty of racing. It's been a wild ride, and I'm hoping Tier 1 continues that.
Yeah, it's certainly been an eventful day of racing so far, and Tier 1 will be no different. As you can see, guys, before we get started, I do have the F1 standings up at the moment on your screen, so too late, mate. Currently in P1, he's had a good start to the season. Sten, after his win last week, has put himself into P2. Max Young, just a couple of points behind him in P3. Joe Royals had a very good start to life in Tier 1. Yeah, he's in P4. And then you can see who else is a bit further down in the standings as we go. But it looks like it's going to be a dry qualifying, Sammy. What are your thoughts on the race today?
Well, previous tiers have shown it's not really great for overtaking here. There's really not much room to do something, and if you're going for it, you're going for it. There's no question. And I know there's some pretty, how can I put this, ballsy drivers in Tier 1. So I think we will actually see some very intense moves, and most of the moves should be intense moves. But I think most of the work here is going to be coming from strategy this race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the tier 3 race that we've just finished watching was definitely with strategy. It was a wet race, but because Catsby went on his intermediate for longer and a different strategy to Junis, he ended up winning the race. So it'll be interesting to see whether something similar can happen in F1. As we say hello to Anorex. I'm not sure what your actual name is, but welcome to the stream, mate. I hope you're well.
Quite a name.
It is a name, isn't it? You can't be having names like that, like for two Scottish lads to try and pronounce. That's outrageous. But another thing, Sammy, since we've got you here, it's a track that's really hard to overtake. You've obviously mentioned that there might be some hard-fought battles, but on a track that it's very difficult to overtake, do you kind of have to bide your time a little bit more to get past someone on tracks like these, do you think?
Yeah, in a circuit like this, it's not difficult to really keep up with people because there's so much DRS everywhere, and you've usually got some ERS to burn. You can keep up, you've just got to wait for the perfect moment. Because just coming off my race, I had maybe 6 overtakes total, something like that. And I went from 16th to 6th. So it's really just about perfect timing, to be honest. But just keeping it on track's also a big important factor, really, because the amount of people that were spinning, it was just ridiculous. Tier 4, Tier 3, Tier 2, everybody was just sliding. I'm sure they especially were in that wet, but just, it's a very slippery track, even in the dry.
I'll put my phone on mute so you don't have to hear about 50 notifications.
It seems like Levan's had a little issue here. He seems to just be having a wee nap in the gravel with his front wing sitting in front of him.
Oh dear, we don't like to see that.
He's just waiting to go.
He's just being patient,
No, I'm not quite sure how
way.
he lost his front line. Yeah, good for him, but I'm not sure where his front wing came off from. I'm gonna assume he hit the inside wall and bounced back from it.
Well, it looks like LT Rock is going to set the first lap time. It's a 1:15.7. His teammate's going to be next, Magic K. He goes quicker on softs, but only just though. And the Go of Anxiety then goes a little bit quicker.
A little bit. A whole second's a lot a bit quicker, in my opinion.
No, Magic K, not the Go of Anxiety. I meant to say. I can understand why you'd be going, hang on a minute, that's not right. Oh, Nelly, it was Nelly at Anorex. No worries, mate. Aero Blade goes P4, 115.8. A couple of drivers on the mediums. LT Rocker, Harry Cully trying to start on the medium. Do you think that's a good strategy? What are your thoughts on that, Sammy?
Well, as long as there's an early safety car or something like that to help you, the mediums really seem to prevail. But because the softs really just melt around here, it's ridiculous. To be honest, it's about a max of probably 8 laps, and that's just if you're crazy. Probably 6 would be the cap, in my opinion, for safe racing. Any further than that, and your tires are just going to be going boom. So, mediums may actually be a solid shout as long as you can keep solid pace in them.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. Meanwhile, I didn't want to interrupt you there, but Too Late Mate takes his provisional pole with a 114.6.
Boy, am I shocked.
Meanwhile, Dark comes around the final corner. Not set a lap time yet, and it's a 116.4. Anyone else on a lap at the moment? Looks like Carcraft, so we'll stay on board with him. We know how quick he can be. Trying to get his season up and running properly is Carcraft. And when I say that, I mean getting enough points to have a title charge. He started a couple of decent results, I think.
Yeah, McLaren seem to have just kind of been sneaking around in the background. They've been scoring some very solid points, especially with Harry's performance at Bahrain.
You've got two very good drivers in Harry and Carcraft, haven't
unforgettable. Yeah, you really do, but it's just the fact that they seem to just be kind of tiptoeing around the back of everybody. And they're not quite into incidents or anything like that. They're just in the shadows, but they're collecting points, just raking them in the shadows.
As Carcraft slows down, I don't know whether he's deliberately trying to stay outside the top 10, possibly.
Yeah, I think that may be a deliberate to flick to mediums later.
Yeah. As Nelly
just gonna
starts
make sure he's
his
not
lap.
blocking the pits. Jesus. Nearly colliding with Joe there on pit exit. That wasn't quite safe, Carcraft.
What did he do? We were watching Nelly.
He pulled right on the straight to get out of the way of a fast car, the Red Bull.
Oh, but he went into the pit
pulled
lane.
into the pit lanes right as Joe was exiting, yeah, and gave Joe no room. He had to go with a little bit of rallying and cut through the grass to avoid him.
It sounds like it was a no-win situation there, to be honest. If there's one person you probably you give the priority to not messing up, it's the person that's about to starting a lap, in my opinion. Although obviously that's to see against how close it actually was for Joe, but as long as they didn't make any contact, I'm sure Joe will rub that off and understand what happened there.
Yeah. I don't think there was any ill intentions there. I think it was just a little bit of a mistake. Sometimes it's a bit too hard to gather everything from your surroundings, so...
Nelly goes to
you
P4 for 115.1. Yep, Yari's coming across the line on the mediums as a 115. He's up to P4. That's a good time on the mediums.
Oh, most definitely.
Carcraft open in the pits.
No question about that. Yari's always one to show up and perform. And even on the mediums doing something as ridiculous as that. Because I can see the Renault and the McLaren 9th and 10th, LT Rocker and Harry Cully set the benchmark for mediums, and Yari just cleared it.
Speaking of LT Rocker, he's just invalidated his lap in sector 1.
Oh no.
We'll stay on board with Max Jung as he starts his second run at qualifying.
Yeah, hopefully he can actually get into the top 10, which I don't doubt Max for doing.
It's very tight. It's only like a tenth or two from getting into like P8, sorry. So it's even less than 2 tenths actually to 10. So he gets a little bit of a slipstream off Harry Cully there, Max. Very clever driving, but
yep, maximising your surroundings. Which is definitely too much entry speed he wasn't quite expecting.
I think that's maximising your speed a little bit too much there from Max. So I'll jump on board with his teammate, the Goat of Anxiety, currently in P2. The goats look good in qualifying so far this season, to be fair.
Yeah, he really has, but he's not quite shown to what his qualifying performances have during the race. I feel like he's just been a bit caught out, whether it was his fault or somebody else's, but he always seems to get a bit mixed up in things.
Yeah, he'll be hoping today's the day he can actually change from a Mr. Saturday to a Mr. Sunday, if we were doing an actual Grand Prix like that. Anyway, the Government's IT 114.7 stays P2. Two inmates starting a lap as well. Who have we got next? Let's have a wee look and see. Joe Burrows advantage lap, which I think it is, who's actually not set a lap yet. Actually, must have been later qualifying. Let's see what he can do as he comes around the final couple of corners.
Maximising those apexes there for that chicane.
115.1, not bad at all for your first run.
Yeah, only half a tenth off of Nelly, just in front.
Yeah.
He can definitely improve that, so he could be up here for a top 5.
Maybe not Frarbad just goes a little bit slower than Witcher, but takes us up to P7 still. If anyone can understand what I was saying there, lost my words a little bit.
Nah, it's fine. They're all good. Yeah, the AlphaTauris too, they're dominating Tier 2 right now. They didn't quite attend this race, these were both preoccupied, but they're still leading the championship, and they're really showing that they have the pace to move up to Tier 1 right here.
Absolutely.
Both of them in the top 10.
Meanwhile, Harry Colley puts us above to P5 with that time. Who else have we got? Dark is improving quite a bit, although he's slowing down, so I don't know what he's doing. Unless I think he just set a lap time actually. Aero Blake coming around the final couple of corners as well. I don't know about you, Sammy, but you see when you watch, like, you do commentary, you know, around the track, it seems like the sessions feel like they go on for a lot longer. I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking that during the race when I was commentating Tier 4 and even driving. It feels like you're racing a full race of 3 hours.
It does, doesn't it? It's like we're doing 100% races.
Yeah. I was out of breath by the time I was done commentating Tier 4 because I felt like I just talked for 4 hours straight. Anytime I was silent, it felt like I was silent for 5 minutes, so I just couldn't stop. But luckily we can split the 3 hours between us.
We can.
So it'll be all good.
I'll take the first one, you do the second.
Yeah. It's like racing Le Mans.
Oh man, that is a good race to watch, to be fair, but you can literally just put that on in the background and just let it happen. I wouldn't like commentating it though. That would be. I do have a lot of respect for the commentators that do that race.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day we'll have, maybe on GT Sport we can have the SRL 24 hours of wherever.
I'm gonna say right now
possible.
that if they want me to commentate that, they're paying me. I'm saying that right now.
Oh, I'll do it for free. I'm curious how long I can go.
They're definitely paying us for that one.
Fall asleep halfway through. Commentary's just me snoring.
And that'll be when you miss the best parts as well.
Yeah, of course. It's inevitable. You always flick to somebody else and then the person you were already on just does something magical and you miss it.
Absolutely, man. As Nelly comes around the final corner, currently in P90, I think he is going to improve, but by how much? 114.9 up to P5.
Ooh.
Has anybody
he did get in the
surprised you
P5
so
like
far
saying.
with their qualifying so far? Maybe someone who's a bit further up than you thought, maybe someone who's not as far up as you would think.
Mams right now has actually just started his lap and immediately invalidated turn 1.
Yeah, it's not
That
been
was
good for the
heartbreak,
Renaults,
but
has it?
No, it really hasn't, but the quiet Finn, Levan, didn't attend quota, but he's here and he's really shown up. He's only a 10th off the goal in P3, which is just ridiculous. We haven't really talked about him much because we haven't really noticed him.
Yeah, unfortunately for Levan, yeah, we kind of got caught up chatting about 24-hour Le Mans races that we didn't notice his lap. But
Yeah,
very good lap nonetheless,
it's the
fantastic
quiet
stuff.
Finns.
It
It's
is
the quiet
indeed.
Finns. They're always just sneaking around. You can never hear them.
We know these Finns like a drink as well, that's why they go so fast so they can finish the race and get on with their drinking.
Was that a pun? Finish the race.
It actually wasn't on purpose, but I quite like it that you pointed it out. I'm going to keep doing that now.
Ah, damn it. Shouldn't have given you that.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have.
We're all gonna be mad by the end of this 3-hour session.
We are, as Penna comes
When in
across the
actuality,
line.
it's 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes left if they're gonna
Ooh.
get qualifying in now,
He,
but it's gonna be tight.
he beats the Finns time up to
Ooh.
1:14.8. Penna, terrific stuff from him.
Yeah, Jesus. Choked, I was a bit shocked by what he did there.
He's going to
Did
say,
not expect that out of him.
I've already lost your savvy lad there.
Not quite yet. You can't lose me that easily.
Let's hope not.
Still
Anyway,
though, waiting for a lap from Joe as well.
yeah, that's true actually.
Hopefully he's waiting to shock.
Too late, mate. Still in the pits. He's waiting till the very last second to come out again. By the looks of things.
Seeing very good sportsmanship here. I'm just watching the goat on his lap, and 4 people have just gotten out of his way immediately and given him a nice clean run. It's great sportsmanship. Although I believe he has just invalidated
He
his
has.
lap.
I was just about to say that. The commentator curse strikes again.
Yeah.
Trying to see who's next. Farby is going to come across line, but he's going to be going again, I think. So who's the furthest ahead in terms of starting a lap? Carcraft coming on the final corner. Are the Mercs a bit? Sorry, Merc strong. Yeah, he is. So we'll stay on board with Max for now, and we will drop down from there. Currently in P16, Max. If we're talking about drivers that have been have had a disappointing qualifying so far, I think you ought to put Max in that category.
Yeah, rightly so. I think he's waiting to shock, though. Trying to slowly ease us into it so we don't have a heart attack from him going absolutely lightning fast.
Absolutely. Max is improved on that first sector as well by a couple of attempts. Ooh, just losing it a little bit there. That's cost him time.
Yeah.
And now he's just going
He's
to
got
really...
to try and make it up here if he wants to continue, because he cannot make it back to the pits and back out in that time. He's got to just try and push this last sector and try and rake something out the bag here. This has not been a good qualifying for him.
No, it hasn't.
Those 2 Renaults are also immediately back out, so if he doesn't do better than them, he may not actually get any better positions. Oh, I think Joe's about to start his lap as well.
1:15.7.
P14. Just barely in front of Mavs.
Carcraft's got pole, 1:14.5.
My God.
That's the one way to
McLaren
get Too Late Mate to go
have places
faster.
to be. Yep. Talking about going faster, Joe's on his lap here, but it seems like everybody's just decided to crash or retire right now.
Well, one person still on a lap is Too Late Mate, currently in P2. It doesn't look like he's going to lose that position, unless Levan can go quicker, but I don't think he is, or Sten. Yari's gone provisional pole, 1:14.4.
My God, yeah, he was waiting so he made sure we didn't get a heart attack. My God.
But Too Late Mate's coming round the final couple of corners. Can he snatch pole position off Yari as he comes across the start-finish line? It is going to be a 1:14.4 and Too Late Mate gets
of course, it's not over yet. We've got Joe Royal coming round here. Final corner. It's gonna come on, Joe. Come on.
It's only P14. Cully in Sector 2.
Got my
Sten is
hopes
coming
so
around the
high.
final corner. Currently in P7. Can he improve? No. Oh, he can. Just a
Oh,
little bit, because that's a
he
P6.
can. P6.
Just. It looked like
Little
he was down on
leapfrog
his
over
time.
Pinnacle there. Think he might have just raked something out the bag last second. Still waiting for LT Rocker, who I think backed off. No, he didn't. P14 taking it
Oh,
off
Harry
Joe.
Cully's invalidated on the last corner.
Oh, and he's all the way in the gravel. Oh.
And that is the end of qualifying. And too late,
Levan.
mate.
Levan still going.
Is he?
I don't think he's quite going though. Nah,
That is
yeah,
true.
straight to the pits.
Hello, Matt. Damn, these guys are so quick. You are not wrong there, mate, at all. And too late, mate. Well, it
Who
looked
said
like
that?
Matthew JS97, a good mate of mine. Well, it looked like
He's
it
definitely
looked like
correct.
well, Sammy, it looked like too late, mate. It had pole taken away from him twice there, but he managed to snatch it back at the end there, but 114.4.
The Belgian always seems to prevail.
He does indeed. Yari gets a very good P2 as well, though. He's going to be dangerous in the race. Carcraft takes P3.
Oh, most definitely.
Goat Anxiety joins him on the second row. Then we've got the Finn of Levan. I was trying to fit the pun in, but I couldn't. Takes P5. Esten is alongside him on the third row. Penna and Nelly are on the fourth. Aero Blake, P9. Harry Cully's in the final top 10 position. Then outside you've got the Belgians of Witcher and Dark. Fra by LT Rocker, Joe Royal, Max, and Mavs UK bringing up the rear.
Yeah, Levan finishing in P5.
Yeah, good qualifying from him there, to be fair.
Yeah, most definitely. For his first appearance in Tier 1, great outing. You couldn't really hope for better.
Absolutely
Hopefully
not.
he can show this in the race.
It looks like it's going to be a dry race as well. The sun is shining and there's no sign of the rain at the moment.
Yeah, I'm most definitely going to have to go back and watch Tier 3 so I can see that wet race and hear your beautiful voice even more.
Oh, you're too kind, Sammy. You're too kind. Not many people say beautiful voice. They just mute it and watch the race.
Nah.
But anyway, speaking of strategy, is it pretty simple, do you think, to stop? What you thinking of the strategy?
Well, I think best strategy is probably one stop, mediums to hards or hards to mediums, depending on what you're feeling like. I
Yeah.
wouldn't really say two stops going to work unless you've really got the pace.
Is
But
the
of
hards
course,
quick
Tool and
enough,
Yari
though?
going for it. The hards are pretty fast, and the extra time you gain for not doing another pit stop, because the amount of time you lose for a pit stop is almost about half a lap.
That's very true. It looks like everyone outside the top 10 is on the medium tire, so it looks like some of them are going to be trying that medium to hard strategy that you've just spoke about, which could really prevail and help them finish quite high up in this race.
Almost definitely, if safety comes out at the perfect time, some of them could be easily taking this.
Was there a safety car in your first couple of laps in your race, by the way?
There was.
There
There
was
was, in
indeed.
fact, yes.
That's interesting. There was a virtual safety car in F3 and F4, which is the slowest tier, somehow was the only one so far that hasn't had one come out in the first lap or two, which is incredible.
Oh, I think there was 3 VSCs and a safety.
In your race?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot of safety cars. But just as the drivers come on to Sector 3, it gives me time to put you on the spot, Sammy, and give me your top 3 predictions for the race.
I'm gonna say Tool P1, obviously. No doubt. I'm gonna go bold. Carcraft P2. Well, it's not that bold, but I'm thinking that's gonna be a smart idea. Carcraft P2. And Levan P3.
Levan P3, so you think that Yari is going to drop out of the top 3. Very interesting indeed.
I'm predicting Yari and the GOAT are going to end up fighting close to the mid to end of the race, and Levan and Carcraft are going to profit from it. That's my idea. I'm going to be horribly wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
Where's that one? Well, we like a bold prediction, so thank you for that, Sammy. As the cars all look like they've lined up on the grid, ready for start of the race. Do let us know as well, everyone watching, what your predictions are as well. I'll be interested to see what you all think. As the camera's messing up again, which is just wonderful news. In fact, here we go. We have 3, we have 4, we have 5
lights,
red
4 lights.
And away we go here in Spain for SRL Tier 1. Mate gets off
Away
well.
with a plume of smoke.
Goat of Anxiety's got off because of a good start. He's diving straight for the inside on the Red Bull. If he could drive straight into the inside, too late,
diving
mate.
to Tool. Oh, he's not going to do too well with that outside. Looked like some Ferraris in the gravel there. The exit of turn 1. Yeah, just couldn't quite stick it. Tool had that inside and got a great run into turn 3, but he's still following hot pursuit.
Yeah, it was ambitious from Yari. Sorry, not Yari. Sorry, a Goat of Anxiety, but just couldn't quite make it stick.
Yeah. Bad instant back there with Max and Harry. Max and Harry have just been left by themselves after an instant.
Did they hit each other?
I'm not quite sure what happened, but I have no clue, to be honest. I think they just came out poorly in a pile-up. And neither seem to have wing damage. They're just miles back, so they're really just going to have to be trying to abuse that clean air to rake in any ground they can.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think it was, apart from that, a relatively clean first sector.
Sten also back in 14th.
Yeah, he ran wide. I was watching as you were speaking. He just ran wide. I don't think anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think he immediately re-entered into track, and it caused a little bit of a pile-up.
Well, if he's done that, I'm sure the should be very interesting to
car
see
park.
that.
Yeah, most definitely. The game seems to have decided, though, that Sten is now first. Not quite sure what that's about, but yeah. Just gonna keep going off my map because that's not failing. Yeah. Of course.
What a start those two have had.
Yeah.
Oh no, Sten's had a nightmare. I'm joking. I can't even keep this up. Stans have all sorted themselves out.
Yeah, it'll get back to normal. It seems to do this every race. Shimmies around for a while, then gets back to all good.
We'll go with Anxiety going wide there, getting onto the straight in sector 2. But no harm done.
Yeah, I think we'll see Yari pressuring him in a sec. And that'll give Tool the room he needs to do what he always does and just breeze away into the sunset.
Yep. Well, if we have a look
Enjoy
at
the nice Spanish vistas.
But if we have a look at the standings, Goat of Anxiety got off really well. He started P4, he's now off to P2. Yari and Carcraft, especially Yari, as you predicted, losing a couple of places off, losing a place off the start. Some people that benefited. Nelly got himself up from P8, he's now in P5. Joe Royal is now into the top 10 as well, he's had a good start too.
Yeah, 5 positions off the start is really good. He really profited from that instant with Sten.
He did indeed.
And has put him up for points, so hopefully he can make the most of this and try and get as many as possible. Only people holding position though are Pinnacle and Tool, so quite interesting.
Yeah, it was really, honestly, it had to be a really good defend from Tool because it did look like for one moment he was going to lose the lead of the race after turn 1. He had been the victim of a Max Verstappen sort of move that we saw today, but he held it really well to maintain the lead of the race.
Yeah. Wouldn't expect any less from Tool.
Absolutely not.
I think they might need to start making their own tier just for Tool to race around by himself. He's too dominant.
He is very dominant. It looks like Yari's getting past the goal of anxiety on the start-finish straight here. And he is indeed. He's got himself back up into P2.
Knowing the goat though, this is very far from over. He's going to be trying to get right back at Yari there.
And as we said, it's a
But
long,
sweeping a
long
bit
race.
too wide there.
Yeah, he did. I saw that.
Yeah. Ooh, Sten going for an interesting strategy and flicking on the hards. Those aren't going to go particularly far. He's only going to make it about to 20 or so laps. And then he's going to have to put mediums or do double softs, I guess.
Yeah, he probably would have been better just jumping on mediums and then doing... And when he had to pit again, we just jumped on another set of mediums. But safety car could obviously go in his favour later on, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. Yari, 3-second time penalty, by the way. And Nelly and Aeroblake. Yari, I saw his. He got it up through the S's, just cutting it a bit too tight on the right. Trying to make sure he didn't nearly spin it, but it's costing him penalties, which isn't great. So
No,
I
it's
think that's
not what you want to
meaning
say.
he's just lost it to the GOAT. I think he actually goes all the way back down to 5th with that penalty now, so he's really going to have to be raking it along, but he is in Tool's DRS range, whereas the GOAT is not in Yari's. Yari may do what the GOAT could not and just try and get one on Tool with this DRS, or he may just spin it. He held that nicely, but that was still all of his ground, and Tool there lost.
Yeah.
I think Tool's magic at this rate. Anybody comes close to him and something goes wrong with him. I don't think we curse them, I think Tool does.
Yeah, very good driver, and that's why Yari's already got a penalty, because he's pushing that hard to try and catch him.
Yeah, I think he realises everything's going to be done here at the start in Spain, and he's got to do it now. Somebody's got to try and slow up Tool.
Another person though that has a penalty is Nelly, who's trying to close down Carcraft at the moment. I personally didn't think that it was. I thought it was quite easy to not get so many penalties on this track, but I guess the harder you push, the more likely it is that you're gonna just run a little bit wide and get yourself a penalty, I suppose.
Yeah, when you're fighting this closely, especially with dirty air, I don't think there's too much of that in Tier 4, but especially this close racing, there's tons of it, and it just chucks your car around like it's a piñata. So
Well,
sometimes it's very difficult to control it in the tight sections.
Especially when you've got more drivers who are a lot closer pace, and it can be a bit more competitive, I suppose, as well. Looks like Fraubeit's getting past LT Rocker here
definitely.
in turn 1. And he does. Nice little move from LT Rocker.
By the way, Aeroblake just ducked into the pits. He's gone for the mediums like you suggested. Both the Ferraris now sitting in last.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer, because you're going to have to stop again anyway, so you might as well be on a bit of a faster compounder tyre.
Yeah, but I think Sten's planning to stretch as long as possible, really, but it may cost him.
I think we have a Nelly fan in Larcel, because he's saying Nelly spin, so he's not a fan, he just knows him.
Yeah. Ooh, Mav's sending one on Frardby, giving him a little nudge up the inside there.
Yeah, they're still side by
letting him
side,
know he's coming through.
No, they're not. Yeah.
No, Frardby just kind of losing out, not really realising the effect of that dirty air there through that corner, and just kind of snapped it left.
The front runners are
only a
pitting
tiny
now.
bit of contact, but all good.
So,
yeah, this is where the mediums are really coming into their own, as you can see. Witcher all the way up to P4 already. Only the top 3 not pitting yet. Knowing they're going to have to maximise those mediums if they're going to, or maximise those softs so they can take the mediums as long as possible.
Interesting that the goal of anxiety, Levan and Penna deciding not to pit along with everyone else.
Could be a great call on Ivan and Penna's part.
Yeah, could be. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Because those two are the most likely to really gain positions here. The GOAT's really got to push right now and maximise these older softs if he wants to get away from the beast himself, Tool.
Where did the what did Tool come out? He came out P12, but he's got a lot of medium runners in front of him that he's going to catch up to. So he's going to get caught up in a bit of traffic. Is our Tool?
Yeah, he's just going to be trying to pick off everybody one by one with those fresher mediums as well, leading the.
Interestingly, all three
Fresh
soft runners
medium
have now
renaissance.
pitted. And Joe Royal is actually going to get past Witcher and take the lead of the race.
Come on, Joe, let's go.
It was a nice wee move. Witcher
I
didn't
mean, a
really
great
defend.
drive from him so far.
Yeah, Witcher didn't really defend as strong as I thought he would, but really just got caught out a little bit there, maybe, Witcher. But Joe Royal will take that. He'll say thank you very much.
Yeah, it looked like he caught Witcher having a little bit of a nap there. Witcher almost going into the grass there as well.
Meanwhile,
It's been a great drive by Joe so far, though, up 14 positions.
Absolutely, of course, has to pit still, but I think as you mentioned before the race started, the ones on mediums they'll have a big advantage because they can go longer, and it might help them out a bit more in the latter stages of the race.
Softs don't last enough to really maximize them, so it's more of just a waste of time. But it was just a qualifying fight. I think it was a smart play by the other people. I think it was intentional, trying to stick towards the back like the two Renaults and Joe. All just trying to get close to the top 10, but not quite in there, so they could have these nice mediums.
Meanwhile, Max is on the start finish straight. He's going to get past RT21, and maybe can he get Frawby as well here? I don't know if he's not going to. Is he going to catch him quick enough? No, he's just going to run out of room, and Frawby will hold on to the position.
Yeah, not the best runner out there, but ooh, Frawby running a bit wide though. He's seeing this as an opportunity and he's taking it. Ooh, that's his position now. Frawby trying to pull a switchback though. Ooh, Max just pushed all the way to the grass.
But he gets through and he holds on to P5.
Yeah, what a great battle there. It wasn't particularly long lasted, but it really showed the skill of these drivers.
And another wee battle that could happen now is Dark against Frawby. And here we go, Dark. He's going to go towards the outside. He's going to try and hold it on the outside. They'll go side by side. Gets a little nudge off Frawby. Just a tiny one, though. No harm done there, in my opinion. And Frawby just holds on.
Not quite enough room on Frawby's end, though. He didn't really give him anything there on the exit. Not sure how the stewards will feel about that one, but hey ho, it's racing.
I mean, at the end of the day, he hasn't boosted him off. Yeah, he can maybe give him a little bit of room, but I think that's still okay, personally.
Yeah. There is always going to be moments like that with racing. And
absolutely.
anyways, he's got DRS, so he's going to be closing easily.
At the moment, this is the closest battle on track at the moment. Magic and LT Rock I'm just keeping an eye on as well. But Dark RT21's going around the outside of Frawby. This time Frawby didn't give him enough room. He gives him a little tap.
Tools coming in the background.
There's one driver you don't want sneaking in behind when you're trying to get
really
past someone is Tool, isn't it?
They really need to focus and make sure they're not fighting, and they need to focus on they need to focus on Tool. Sorry, I'm getting a bit distracted by irritating people. These Renaults, though, really showing great teamwork. They're not trying to fight or anything, they're just trying to tow each other along NASCAR style. Try and pull as much ground as possible before their pit stops. Close in on Witcher and Joe, who are just sailing away in this clean air.
But crucially, Witcher's got a penalty and Joe doesn't. As in now it's Dark RT21. He's got DRS, he's got ERS. Can he get past Frawby? They are side by side. He's going to have to go the long way. And he'll get the inside line with a harsh driver. And he's going to hold on, and that is P6. And it looks like Frawby's going to be too late, mate.
Nose on. Oh.
First victim.
Yeah, tried making the move, but Frawby went wide.
And then Yari goes through. Oh, now he's got past him.
Yeah. Tool sends it up. Luckily, Tool didn't get wing damage there.
That was very good
Forward
driving
by,
from Yari, that though.
Oh, most definitely. He saw what Tool didn't and just planned accordingly. It's
Absolutely.
thinking on your feet that you want in that sort of situation.
What were you going to say, sorry Sammy, before I cut you off a bit there?
Just great teamwork from the Renaults was all I was kind of getting at with my point. Just trying to drag their asses all the way up to the front two.
What lap do you think they'll be pitting, these medium runners?
I would say they've got maybe another 6 in the tyres, somewhere around there.
Oh, just to interrupt you again, there's a three-way battle between P6 and P8 at the moment, going into turn 1. Looks like Yari's got past, but Too Late Mate's on his tail, as he also gets past Dark.
Yeah, this is going to be great for P5 and up, because Yari is just blocking Tool at every chance. And this is going to slow up the hunt for those positions there.
I feel like even though Yari inside will be going, I probably should work with Tool here. He'll also be thinking, I just want to keep him behind me as long as possible as well.
Yeah. Well, they're on the same strategy, so Yari does actually have to do this. This is for position here. I think right now we're looking at net P1 and P2 here. Once the top 5 head into the pits.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Tool's got a much
I don't
better
think
exit than
Yari's
Yari
gonna
there.
have DRS here though.
No,
yeah,
he's
and
not.
Yari's going to be out of some DRS. Don't know what he's doing here. Yeah, immediately grabbing for the inside, but it's too much slower. Just ducking for the outside as well, knowing there was no chance anyways.
Yep, that's Too Late
He
Mate
may be
through
able
for
to
P6.
do that next time though.
And that is the provisional lead of the race, back acquired for Too Late Mate. Oh, his yellow flag is like the 1, not sure what it's for though.
I think it was for Pinnacle there. I'm not quite sure what it was about though.
Interesting.
Pinnacle or League Van. I didn't quite see though, because they both got set up again.
Yeah.
Must have not been too huge of an incident.
Nah, looks like they're all good.
Yeah, no wing loss on either of them, so I think we're all dandy. Just a little bit of time loss. Speaking of time loss, the two Renaults have just closed in on Witcher here. Oh,
LT
but
Rocker's in.
LT Rocker ducking into the pits. Yeah, he's going for that undercut.
Well, he was the lead Renault,
It's
wasn't he?
great
So he
planning
gets
on the
priority.
Renault's part.
Yeah, definitely. Magic will probably go in next lap
Yeah.
then, you would imagine.
Maybe he may try and stretch these. Yeah, LT Rocker putting on the hards.
You were just
He is going to
saying,
the end.
you were just saying that the Renaults are putting pressure on Witcher. Witcher's certainly going to be under pressure knowing that Eldrock is just pitted now, I guess. Maybe could he get him on the undercut here?
No, he's definitely going to get him in the undercut here unless Witcher really finds some luck with a safety or something along those lines. No doubt.
Meanwhile, Yari's getting a
Because
bit
Mavs
back.
is still going to be out here keeping pressure so they can't get lax.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Yari's just gotten back at Too Late Mate a little bit on this lap, and he's right in behind him again.
I'm expecting Yari to go for something down the straight.
Oh, he thought about it. But no, he's not
Yeah.
close enough, and it would have been very, very silly.
Ooh. A little bit of slide on the exit there. We should be seeing Max, Mavs, Witcher and Joe all duck in this lap, I'd expect. Yep, Joe's in. Witcher's in.
Max stays out.
Mavs is in. And Max staying out. He must be out to just hold up Witcher. Or not Witcher, sorry, Tool.
Doing a little bit of teamwork
Wrong
for
alpha.
the goal of anxiety here, do you think?
Potentially, yeah. but it's not actually helping Yari too much, as he gave Tool DRS down that straight.
I just
Which
wonder
just left
though.
Yari in the dust back there.
I just wonder though how long Max can actually keep Too Late Mate behind here, because you can see the
He's got to
difference in
pit
grip.
soon. You really can. Luckily though, it's a tight section of track, so he really can't get by anywhere here. Yeah, running just wide with that dirty air as well.
He won't be daft here to me, because he knows that if he gets this wrong going for Max, Yari will be right all over him.
Yeah.
As it comes around the final corner, is Max
He
going to
has
jump
closed
in
up
here?
Yari immediately though.
No, he's going to stay out, but
It's gonna... Oh.
this is going to be
Could
done
be
deal.
Yari's chance here.
Too Late Mate's going to go through here. But you're right, Yari.
But as long as Max is really keeping the pressure on, Yari could profit here. Trying to take the long way around. He knows he's got the inside for here. It's easy. Yeah. No chance.
Nice move from Too
The
Late Mate.
outside for turn 1 is actually a benefit. Max just not being able to keep that grip going wide and get Yari's through.
Yep, you've seen that. And that is the two race leaders back in front.
Max is going for a very extreme overcut here, and I think it's just costing him time at this rate. I think he's made a bad choice trying to do this. But I think all focus is on his teammate right behind him.
Well, we're gonna jump. I'm gonna jump away from that balcony. We're trying to see if there's anything else going on a bit further down in the grid. LT Rocker.
I think there's something happening with the Renaults. Yeah.
LT Rocker, yeah. Good thing
we're-
we're on the same wavelength. Are you watching the one behind between Stan and Mavs potentially?
Oh yeah, I think Mavs is about to try and do something down this straight. Because I don't think these two Renaults want to split apart. I think it's safety buddies doubling up.
Well, Sten's almost. He's in
Stronger
the
in
way of
numbers.
Mavs, isn't he? He's in the way, really.
Yeah.
He just wants Sten out the way.
He's really not helping him. Yeah. Staying on those 11 lap old tyres. Just not really helping much. I can see Mavs just burning everything to try and get by. Even trying to maximise the slipstream. It's only going to be down to fresher tyres though, but Sten isn't burning ERS. Still not enough to close in. LT Rocker also looking for a way by Nelly, but he doesn't seem to quite be able to find it on the Tier 2 driver.
No, but he'll have better grip. Well, he will have better grip than the AlphaTauri driver as the laps go on, you would think.
Yeah. There's some teamwork going on up ahead, although I'm not sure there's quite conversation going between. I think it's just a kind of mutual understanding with the Williams, with Levan and Joe just kind of trying to go along and get the business done.
LT Rocker, is he going to go for a move on Nelly here? No, Nelly defends really well, dives straight for that inside and holds on to the position very nicely.
Yeah, it's going to be all down to the straight. If Witcher gets a good run, it's going to leave Nelly just dead in the water.
Yari's going for a move and gone Too Late Mate here into the first corner, and he's made it go. That is an unbelievable overtake from Yari, that.
Tool just didn't even expect it.
That is first class. Fair play, Yari, that's fantastic. It was always going to take something special to get past Too Late Mate. Well, he'd be in the contention.
Oh, most definitely.
Meanwhile, jump back on board with the Williams, who actually are helping each other really well here. Joe is a smart driver, as we know. And I think you're right, I don't think this is on purpose, but they are getting a little bit closer to Penna at the moment.
Yeah, as I said, it's just it seems like a kind of mutual understanding that they're here not to fight each other, but to get points, and they're in a solid position to do so. So just keep the shimmy on.
two drivers that would love to help each other out is the Renaults, but they seem to have a wee Ferrari in a way. So it's the yellow sector 3. And Aero Blake, is it Aero? No.
Ooh.
Who's gone off?
Yeah, it's Aero.
It
It
is
was Aero.
Aero. It is Aero.
Aero's just came out between the two Williams here. Oh, and he's going to tuck into the pits. I believe he has damage. Can't quite see though. I kind of slowed Joe there a bit, but... Ooh, Tool into the pits as well. He's put on a set of mediums. That's going to be interesting from him.
So Yari's got. So Yari, does he extend by a couple more laps, or does he go straight in this next lap? We'll have to wait and see. He is gonna have to pit again, though.
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
this stint is definitely where Tool deals with Joe and Witcher, who are currently in the best possible position for the win. Everybody else in front of them is either on older tyres that won't make it, or worse tyres for duration. So, yeah, it's really down to Joe and Witcher, and if they can keep the ground to Tool at this point. But Joe could be up for a solid P2 here, not to jinx him. I really want to see him do what he couldn't do at Bahrain.
Yeah, I don't think the gap's large enough to Tool, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not gargantuan. Hopefully this train, there's going to be some cohesion here with the Renaults, and the Renaults just try and hold Tool as much as possible. Because I feel it would probably be a best strategy to do everybody against Tool rather than everybody against each other. Ooh, Joe, 3 seconds though, that's going to be bad for him.
It is. Nelly setting the fastest lap for 1:17.4. Although he's not in the points, so unfortunately he won't get that extra point.
He's absolutely rapid. He's shown he's rapid, he's just not fared too well so far. He's just been at the wrong places and all the wrong times.
I raced with Nelly last season. He's a good driver. He's just, I think, struggled just to sort of replicate his pace in the races. Oh, Joe! Getting onto that DRS straight, almost loses it on the curb, and he has to sort of brake just to compose himself and go again. That was almost very horrible for Joe.
Ooh, it sounds like a very good save. I wasn't quite on board to catch it, but... Ooh, speaking of Nelly, he's gone to do some lawn mowing. Oh, and he's gone again! And he's in the wall. You cursed Nelly. I don't think his race could get any worse, but he's just gone even further back.
Meanwhile, Tool gets past Masuke.
Tool's, yeah, just past everybody there. He's just got to get LT Rocker, Witcher, and Joe here.
Interestingly, Yadi's still not pitted. 14, 15... No, he wouldn't come out in front of mate. He will be behind, but he will be on a lot fresher medium tyres when he does pit though. So I think there's still going to be a good battle between Yari and Tillemate for the win here. But Yari does have that penalty, but I don't know how many more Tillemate is away from getting one.
I'll have a little look, shall I?
That would be helpful.
That's 1. That's 2.
So there's 1 away.
Yep, just 1 away. 1 more warning and Tool has got a penalty. Speaking of penalties, go of anxiety, 3 seconds, multiple warnings.
Yari's just served 3 seconds though in the pits here, you know. And he has done. So he's now penalty free. Joe, Levan go through. Witcher goes through. LT Rocker goes through to the
Tool fast this lap with a 17.234. What can you expect?
Not far behind though, Yari. He's not far behind him at all. This is going to be a very exciting end.
If LT Rocker does a good job at holding up Tool through this sector, Yari should be right up his toot. gonna sit and watch in anticipation.
That's
Oh,
far by
Frogby's
out.
gone. Retirement. I think he just lost it. That left-hander. Full. Oh.
Oh.
Oh no. Uh,
Levan could be on for a good result now, you know.
He really could be. I honestly can't tell you what's gonna happen here. Because
Was
Levan, it could work in the hards' favour, it could work in the mediums, because the mediums are gonna last longer now, but so are the hards. It's all down to what Tool and Yari do on the restart. Oh, Levan in the pits! He didn't think he was gonna make it, he's went into the pits.
I don't think he
He's
would have
gonna be
made
putting
it.
on softs.
Yeah, might as
He's
well.
going to put on softs, I think,
Well,
but
the thing is,
he's
look at the
not going to
penalties.
make it. Yeah, but... Oh no. Yeah, Levan's put on softs. Somebody actually tried this. Noten Boomcha actually tried it in Tier 2 and he got a puncture in the second last lap. They just don't go 11 laps. Levan has got to pull some luck out of thin air if he wants to last this long.
We'll
It's
wait and see.
incredibly risky, but maybe the safety can make them last. You just gotta hope this safety goes on forever.
So
But Joey boy, Joe, he's got that penalty. That's really not good.
I was gonna
It's
say the
also
guys
not
on
great the fact
penalties are gonna be crying at this point.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You know, like LC Rocker. We talk about Joe, but LC Rocker, who's in second on hard tires, but hasn't got a penalty. You know.
Yeah, most of the race though he's just been fighting his own teammate. I know Joe and LT Rocker are friends, so there may be some coordination here to hope that Joe gets this win, maybe a little bit of holding up of the tool.
Well, I wouldn't
That
think
sounded
so.
a bit like an insult.
They're in different teams, and for the constructors, I was certainly thinking that they won't be helping each other in that respect.
You never know.
A little bit of insider information that we're getting from Sammy there. Joe and LC Rocket are good
It always
friends.
helps to have friends. Yeah.
I would be very surprised if the friendship meant that Joe, you know, and LC Rocket help each other out here. They'll be thinking their own interests, and they're both ferociously warming up their tyres here.
Yeah.
It's giving me a bit of a headache.
Really making sure Tool's not getting by. God, it's like on a roller coaster.
Absolute madness. But yeah, Levan, it's a risky move, this.
Oh,
Very
it
risky.
most definitely is, but we've seen this before at Bahrain, and we thought it was a mistake, didn't we? So...
We did, but I think it's different this time. You're asking the softs to go double the length that they're supposed to.
Yeah, but he has got the safety that will go in his favour, but yes, he's still going to be risking puncture near the end here.
And they're going to be for
Hopefully
the first lap or
he's as
two.
gentle as possible on those tyres.
And the thing is though, first lap, as you just said, gentle tyres, that's fine. But when we go racing, it's going to be full to the leather, you know, sort of racing.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be very hard to get him to the end, if I'm honest. But we'll see.
He's just going to cross all his fingers and cross his toe and get his four-leaf clover out. Hope for the best, really.
Yep.
Safety car not in this lap. Oh, or it might be a late call actually, just waiting for Nelly to catch up. Yep, safety car in this lap, just a late call. Joe's gonna back off as much as possible.
A few
He's gonna hope
shenanigans.
that the GOAT SRL. Oh, the GOAT, 5 seconds collision with Mavs.
And Mavs.
Ooh, Mavs got one as well. Ooh.
Well, that's
Yeah,
put them
I
out
think,
of the standings.
Joe's definitely gonna be hoping that. Oh, LT Rocker was not ready for that. Joe getting a great start, but LT Rocker burning all the RF he has. Joe and LT Rocker have gotta hope that Tool ends up getting in a fight with Yari and the GOAT. Two of the only people that I can actually keep up with him. Mavs 3 seconds. Not
Two
great from
inmates
him
going on
that
now, T
restart.
Rocker. And he gets the move done, he's up at the P2.
Ooh, LT Rocker's giving the move, yeah.
So two inmates
Seems
winning
like
the
the fight
race.
isn't over though.
Because of Joe's penalty.
Looks like it, unless Joe does some very solid defending. So solid that Tool will meet the very solid barrier. I think that's about the only chance he has.
Can't be saying that, Sammy. What
Ah,
it is.
of course not.
We can't be saying that.
Well, tell me you don't want to see somebody else win other than Tool.
I am impartial in this commentary box. I'm just here to spectate and observe.
Sure. Nobody's impartial. You'd have to be a robot to be impartial.
It goes too late, mate, though, on Joe.
Ooh,
So it's happened at the back.
yellow flag, Haas.
Nelly and
Haas
Dark.
seems to be around. Oh, just barely edging out, but Joe's going to do the same and have the inside line. Ah, Tool just cutting him out entirely.
Crucially,
Yari 3 seconds. This could be good for Joe.
yeah, so he's got P2. Well, P3 actually, because that's doesn't have a penalty, so he would jump him. But he's got P3, so fantastic race from Joe so far, isn't it?
Almost definitely, but he's still got 7 laps to go, so who
We're
knows?
nearly there, Sammy. We're nearly there.
Yeah, only 1 more hour left. It seems to be getting gloomier and gloomier as the race is going on. Have you noticed this? The sun's just kind of disappeared.
Just a little bit. Surely not. Surely we're not going to have heavy rain or something.
I doubt it. I doubt it, but it's giving me very Scottish vibes with the amount of grey in the sky.
That's very true, it does indeed. I'm on board with Levan at the moment, who's closing on Max's DRS is now enabled, so that's really going to help if he's going to try and get past the mark. Someone else is going to help is Yari, actually.
It was too early.
He's not going to get...
Nah, it was too early for all of them. None of them get it, because they already passed the detection point. Carcraft going for a move on Max. Ooh.
Yeah, nice
Sailing
move.
around side on those better mediums. Yeah. It was a very Tool-esque move. Yari just getting Joe here, but Joe is not passed. Ooh. A little bit of tapping there.
As long as Joe can keep that gap
seems to be all good.
3 seconds, he'll still jump him.
Yeah. Oh, or Joe might try and do a little bit of drifting. That's going to cost him to the GOAT.
Well, we didn't see that. We're still
I think
watching.
He's struggling in those hards.
Levan and Max at the moment, because they're very close to each other, these guys. Is actually going to jump on the GOAT, who is close to Joe now.
Yeah, Joe decided to do a little bit of drifting up the S's and just barely caught it, and it cost him all his time to the GOAT.
But GOAT has got a lot more penalties, so he could let him go, to be honest, if need be.
Yeah, if he does actually fight Yari, but I'm not sure those two will do some close fighting, really.
Well, there you go, the GOAT is through. Joe didn't use the RS to defend there, so I think that was the case.
Seems like Mavs UK is just a little bit stuck behind Carcraft here. Trying to find a way through turn 3, but just still waiting behind. Looked like he was looking for a way around, but not sure how fast he's going to be on those hards.
Well, at the moment, because of penalties, LT Rocker is going to finish P2.
Yeah, as I said, that one-stop strategy really works. Joe, LT Rocker, Mavs and Max all championing the one-stop, and it's shown. All of them starting directly at the back, and now all of them
Ooh.
4th,
Max and
5th,
Mavs.
7th, and 8th. Yeah, a little bit of contact. I could hear it there.
Mavs holds
Lee
on though
Van's
for
going to be
now.
desperate to get through as well. Do you see this train that Mavs is leading?
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? As they go inside against the fast after the race.
Yeah.
117.1. Max is going to get past Mavs here.
Max is going to, yeah, straight by. It's whether Lee Van's going to do it as well. Nah, Lee Van just tucking in. Jolo, 3 seconds. That's not good for him.
That's really not good. That's really not good.
Yeah.
So
LT
Carcraft.
Rocker and Carcraft could potentially have podium here.
I'm trying to do some maths. Maths is not my strongest point. Am I right? I'm not a mathematician, but yeah, I think they would both be P2 and P3. LC Rocker and Carcraft potentially.
Ooh, Joe. Yeah, Joe's just really not finding grip on those hards. But he's still trying to keep pace and it's just not working. Mavs with the 3 seconds as well.
I'm still bored with Witcher, who's trying to get into those point positions. He's just outside at the moment, but he is on penalties, to be fair, though. Ooh, Mavs getting past, did he?
Ooh.
Or something? I don't know what happened there.
It
Blake,
looks like Max, yeah, Max is spun.
It's Max who's
Max
spun.
went round. And he's gone again. And he stopped right in front of the marshals. Good place to stop for when you spin.
That's a shame, because
Yeah,
he's on for
Max
some good
just on
points.
those hot tires.
Well, Levan's
Yeah,
going to
he
get
was.
past.
I think he's going to tuck into the pits and go for fastest lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's crashed in the pit lane. Oh, he's been reset immediately, though. Lucky him. If he wasn't reset there, that would have no doubt been a retirement. He's going to go for fastest lap here to keep it away from, I believe it was Tool that had it there.
Well, with 3 laps to go,
Putting on the
Yari
soft and a new front wing.
is 5 tenths behind 2 late, mate, at the moment, but he has got a lot more penalties. If you were too late, mate, and Yari gets close to you and close to overtaking you, do you just let him go? Because you've got 6 seconds on him.
If I had Too Late Mate's pace, I'd just let him go, really. There's no point defending, it's just going to cost you time to anybody further back with less penalties, so just let him go and then drag it in with penalties. He's got no reason to risk it.
Only if he gets close enough, of course. He's still 6 tenths, that's not close enough to let someone go.
Gary, though, getting an exceptional run down here. Still just tucking in behind. He could have went for the late break there. Oh, LT Rocker. I think that might have been an internet dying. That may cost him a podium here.
I'm going to get him back in as quick as I can, because I don't want this to cost him a really good result.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh,
yeah, luckily he's got a little bit of a breather to leave and behind. Yeah, he may have entirely went off.
Tell you what, can you do it for me, so I'm not blocking the viewers? Do you have his PSN?
Yes, I can. I definitely do.
As it says, what's happened with Maxipin? Yeah, he's just spun in the last lap, and it's a shame because he's on for some good points, I think. Not very nice to compare Max to Mazepin.
LT Rocker sinking. He's out of the points. Oh no. Went from podium to pointless.
And his internet connection is going to cost him an unbelievable result by the looks of things.
Yeah. Heartbreak. Just simply heartbreak. There's nothing more to it than that.
Yeah.
It's going to help.
Tool.
Oh, yeah. Tool must have heard us.
Right, Altioka's joined.
Just let him. Yeah, there's nothing he can do here, though. He's miles behind even Sten.
Ooh, Penna went for a move on Mavs, and Mavs has just given nothing and tapped him to the side, and that is not a racing.
Well, there's a position back for LT Rocker. Oh, Aero Blake, 17 dead.
That is very true, Acid. He did spin in Bahrain, I suppose. That is 2 out of 3 races that he has spun now.
Yikes. Those softs obviously not working for Max here. Oh, or I shouldn't have spoke. 6/10 faster.
Which is going for a move on Mavs here. Late on the brakes. Oh, there's a tap from
Oh, and he's gone
Mavs.
again. He's really helping his teammate get back into the points here, isn't he?
I
LT
mean,
Rocker now scoring 1 whole point after 2 contacts involving his teammate. It seems a little suspicious, but I think it's just coincidence, really.
I think with that one,
Penna
I think
and Witcher very hard driving.
I think Witcher, it was ambitious move. I think though Mavs can give him a lot more room than that. I mean, you know it's coming. He hasn't defended enough for me, and it'd be interesting to see that one. I think the first one with Penna is a slam dunk one, but I think that one's a bit more of a debate, I would say. But Tool has got past Yari again as we enter the final
more of
lap.
a grey area. Yeah, these guys just keeping on fighting. Hopefully this means potential podium for Joe. Maybe. Although I don't think so. I think it's definitely Carcrafts here for the taking.
It won't be a podium for
Levan,
Joe.
though, those softs just not working for him. Oh, and Aeroblake's round. I think he had a contact with Penna there. And Max just retiring.
That's a real shame for Max, but
and Levan spun! He got too ambitious on the throttle and the exit. Levan spun. I need to stop talking about people.
Well, one thing you can't drink is that Too Late Mate has won the race. Yari will take P2 at the moment. Go with Anxiety P3, Joe P4. But this is the crucial one, Carcraft P3. So he gets himself into the podium. Joe will hold on to P5, so that's a good result for him still.
Mavs and LT Rocker 9th and 10th. Not quite what they were hoping for, but it's at least some points. Oh, 10th and 11th.
Levan, despite that spin, as you say, he'll take P9, he'll get a couple of points. But what a mad end to this race.
Most definitely. I feel like I've been here for both 4 hours and 10 minutes.
So now that like an switcher coming around the final corner, who would you give as your driver of the day, Sammy?
I'm gonna say Joe.
You're gonna say Joe?
Yeah, I think game agreeing with me. He's gained plenty of positions, played it calmly, smoothly. Only really had a couple of issues with those hards, but who hasn't really? And he's just been pretty calm about everything. Or at least his driving has been. I'm sure he's pretty angry about missing out on that podium, but I think he's been pretty solid all round, to be honest.
Well, it's not normally
coming up 10 positions. You've got to get credit for it.
That is true. I mean, Carcraft started P3 and held on to it. Didn't get penalties either, so that's a good result. But Joe getting from P15 into P5 just with a couple of penalties thwarting him. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Joe Royal is our driver of the day today. But that is it from us here at SRL for this weekend. It's been another superb 2 days of racing. Where are we next week? Do you know, Sammy?
It's slipping my mind right now. Spa.
That's correct. Yeah, someone did tell me.
Spa.
So do join us again for that next Sunday. But until then, guys, have a fantastic week. Excuse me. Thank you, Sammy, for joining me as always. And
no problem.
We will see you in a future stream. Take care, all.
Goodbye.